Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and once again, we're going to check out Railroad Corporation. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about 30 bucks. So about 5 months ago, I played this game and covered it and couldn't recommend it because there was only the campaign mode, and the campaign mode was timed, meaning that you had to complete the objectives within a certain time limit or you automatically lost. Now, when I play a Railroad Tycoon-esque game, I play it because I enjoy growing a company. And in the previous build, it felt more like one of those time management games as opposed to an actual, company simulator. I just didn't care for it. Well, since then, the developer has added the ability to turn off said timers so you can play these missions as you see fit, which I like. And there's also a free play mode, which allows you to, play as you want to without the worry about objectives. So let's go ahead and jump back into it. For those of you tuning in for the first time, I will cover the game options real quick. There's language, autosave, arrow camera move speed, some other toggles here. Just pause the video here if you want to see this in greater detail. Graphics settings here, it's typical stuff, screen resolution, full screen, VSync, texture quality. Under sound, you got master, music, ambient. The music is kind of repetitive. I'd turn that off, honestly. It's not bad, but it's just repetitive. So if you were to play a new game, again, you're given the option to play a campaign. You can either leave the timers enabled or you can turn them off. There's multiplayer and there's free game. Under free game, there's a couple of sandbox that you can play, sandbox maps, but as you play the campaign, you'll unlock more maps. So I've completed mission 1 off camera, and now I have the option to play that under the free game. There's also challenges, and on the right-hand side, you can see there's the ability to set options. So there's multiple difficulty levels, like easy, normal, hard. I can take anything. Overdraft limits, initial capital, campaign missions, somewhat the same thing. Objectives, if you want them. Overdraft, initial capital, challenge. So yeah, lots of options here. If it weren't for the free game and if it weren't for the timers, I still couldn't recommend it. So let's just go ahead and continue the campaign. We'll play Mission 2. Okay, so before we move on to Mission 2, we're given the option to put our experience points that we're earning into various upgrades. For example, track laying cost minus 5%. That's under the geologist tree here. If I click on the engineer tab on the very top, there is research start price minus 3%. HR recruiter, employee salary minus 10%. Financier, upkeep of all locomotives minus 7%. Upkeep of all buildings minus 7%. I think I will take, we lay a lot of track, so I'm going to go ahead and take that one. And I'm going to go ahead and reduce the cost and the upkeep of locomotives and buildings. So anything that has to do with money, I'll generally take, just to make my life easier. Alright, so I think we are ready to move on. Next mission. Okay, so I went ahead and played a little bit off camera just to get the ball rolling. Typically, you start off in one little section of the map, and then you create a line, you wait for a little bit of money to roll in, you do what you have to do to maybe start researching or add buildings to the existing town that you start in, and then you slowly branch out. But as you can see, I've already gone ahead and done that. There's a line from Knoxville to Cookeville, there's a line from Cookeville to Chattanooga, there is a line from Chattanooga to Nashville, Nashville to Coleman, and this is just so I can start making some money and show you some of the more advanced things. That way you don't have to wait. So, again, for those of you tuning in for the first time, upper left-hand corner is your mission objectives. I've already completed some of them off camera. Staff to hire, to do that, there's a button in the upper right-hand corner called Labor Exchange. You click on that, and these are people that you can hire. But before you can do that, you need to hire, or build rather, an HR department. In your home city that you start in, Knoxville in this case, you have an office. If you click on your office building, on the very bottom left, there are different buildings that you can add. You start with this railroad laying department, and then you have room for more. There's an HR department, which I built, and then there's a research and development department, which I built. The HR department gives you access to the screen I just showed you, the labor exchange, and then you can hire people to give you passive buffs. Like, for example, Arabella Pace, who I don't have, but if I wanted to hire her, it says here employees office space requirement -1 and employee salary -50%. So these will give you different buffs depending on who you hire. The Research and Development Department is for the button in the upper left. There's a Research Department button. And if you click on that, you'll be able to spend money and assign scientists to different things. Like, for example, let's say I wanted to unlock the locomotive John Bull. I'm going to spend 18,000 to do that. And then I can assign so many scientists to it. I have 10 scientists, so I can, if I research more than one thing at a time, I can split the scientists up 5 to 5 or 3 to 7, however I want to do it. But this is the only one I'm researching right now, so I'll just assign all 10, and you can see it'll be done in like 105 days, something like that. And your research will carry over from mission to mission, which is kind of cool. This max speed and power reliability, those are all things that I researched in the first mission that I played off camera. So again, for the benefit of those that are tuning in for the first time, the items in red here at a city is what it demands, and then the green items is what it supplies. So the idea here is figure out what is, who's supplying what, and figure out who's demanding what, and then connect the two so that you can start making some money. So just as an example, let's see if I can find another route. Let's see. Huntsville needs a lumber. I can either deliver the lumber to there's two places. There's the City Hall. It demands grain and wood, and the price of wood there per wood is 3,300 per that tooltip. But there's also a small sawmill. Try saying that 8 times fast. Price per one is 3,850. If I deliver the wood to the sawmill instead of the City Hall here, it'll start producing actual lumber, which is kind of cool. So I can either deliver it to the main area, the City Hall, or I can deliver it to the production building, and it'll produce other things. There is a logging camp right here. The question is, how do I connect it to my existing network? I kind of want to leave this open so I can maybe cross the body of water down this way. So maybe I'll branch it off of this station, possibly do something like that. So to do that, there's a button in the upper right, railroad laying. I'm going to click on that. And it's best to usually branch it off of as close as you can to the station. Now, whenever you do this, the computer will automatically draw a line for you. But that's not always the best way to do it. To micromanage this, you can pick a spot, left click, pick another spot, left click, pick another spot, left click, and you can see the cost in the upper right-hand corner. Obviously, this is not the most efficient way to do this, so I'm not gonna keep this route. Actually, it's only 17,000. I mean, it's bypassing all of these trees. I don't like it though because look at the direction it's coming in. I'd have to bring this around, the train. Yeah, there we go. I might do something like that. How much is that going to cost? Oof, that's terrible. All right, so let's cancel all of that. All right, so let's do something like, I want to come down this way with it. There we go. 12,000, that's not too bad. And then we'll confirm that. And we'll want to line from here to here. There we go. That would be 10,000. We're going to confirm that. And now we're going to create a train. Let's exit out of that mode. There's a train button in the upper right-hand corner. Buy a locomotive. If I had more than one train, I could choose which one. I only have the one right now. We'll go ahead and just choose the 040 best friend. And we're going to choose our route. We can do it a number of different ways. We can click on the icons in the city themselves, or we can, on the very bottom, edit the route manually. Just to show you what that looks like manually, click on Add Station, click on, say, Pulaski here. Here's a Pulaski button. Click the plus button, and then click on Huntsville. Let's click Add Station, Huntsville. There we go. And I can click on Load and Unload here to choose what I want to load and unload at these locations. So, for example, I need to load wood at Pulaski. So if I go to Pulaski on the very bottom, click Load, click on the logging. Now there is a max tonnage. It says 45 out of 50, so I can't go any further than that. If I try to, it'll just say, it'll red out, and that's bad. So we've loaded 3 here. Now we're going to unload 3 at Huntsville. But again, we've got 2 choices. We can either unload it at the City Hall, or we can unload it at the sawmill. I'd rather unload it at the sawmill so we can start producing some lumber. So I'm going to go ahead and click that 3 times. Or you can do it from here as well, whatever you want to do. You can click on the buttons up here, or you can click on the route editor on the very bottom of the screen. I like that you can do either or. Now, this thing is not really supplying anything except for the small, or except for the lumber. So does this place want lumber in return? It does not. So we may want to set up a separate line to deliver this lumber somewhere, whoever demands it, but we're not there yet. So we're going to click apply. And now here's the thing, we kind of have to, we're going to need some way to maintenance this. We want to maintain the train. If you click on a station on the very bottom left, again, there's facilities. I'm going to upgrade this so I can add more buildings. Click on new facility, and there's a repair shop. The repair shop is important because your trains will break down otherwise. So I'm going to go ahead and find the train that I just created, T5, upper left-hand corner. There's a trains tab. And you'll note the same route that I just created came up, but I want to add an extra step to it. There's a little green wrench now under Huntsville because I added that little repair yard. So I'm going to click on that once, and it just says it can be maintained, one locomotive at a time can be maintained at the station. This is sort of like a one-time deal. I'm going to click on just repeat. That way it automatically repeats maintenance every time it stops here. And then click apply. Okay, so now this train should, once it arrives here, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward time. T5, where are you? That's one thing. Whenever you create a new train, it'll start from your depot, which is your starting location, and it has to. It's trying to get to its destination, but it has to wait for other trains to finish doing what it's doing. So there are instances where it's just going to sit there for a while other trains go about their business. Like T3 is coming back here. T2 is currently sitting here. Whether or not we want more lines, that's something to think about. There's T5. T2 should go back along this line once T5 arrives. There we go. And there it goes. And if we did our jobs right, it'll pick up logs here. It's being maintained first, or it's refueling from the looks of it. Yep, picked up the logs, and it's going to deliver them down here. And we'll make some money. And it does cost money to maintain your trains and the like, so you want to make sure that you're producing a profit with every delivery, if at all possible. You'll see some green numbers and red numbers appear shortly. There we go. Yeah, we definitely made a profit with that. Okay, so again, let's take a look at our objectives. Purchase textile factory. That's something we have to do. Let's click on that, and it says there is a suitable building in Nashville and Atlanta. Well, we've got Nashville already claimed for the most part. So when I say claimed, I mean we've got a station there. It's doing stuff. So I'm going to click on the textile factory once I find it. It's probably just one of these side buildings. Or I could just click on that. There we go. Buy for $141,000. My gosh. Fine. Go ahead and buy it. Used all of our money in the process, but we bought it. Close delivery. So now it wants us to deliver clothes to Atlanta. Okay. Well, this is producing textiles. So now we want to get the textiles somewhere. Who makes the clothes? All right, that's textiles there. Okay, so Atlanta demands clothes, but it doesn't make the clothes. We need to figure out who makes the clothes. Textiles are used here along with lumber to make furniture, but that's not what we're looking for. Looking for like a clothes factory. Oh, there's something over here. There's a clothes factory over here. I have to wonder though if we can purchase a clothes factory. I'm not sure if it'll let us or not. Now there's a coal warehouse, faster maintenance. Nah, not going to let us do that. So I guess we kind of have to set up a route from here to here. I'd like to set up, I don't want to use an existing route, though, to do it, so we want a new line. It'll branch off from this. Go this direction. It'll be like an express line. And I'd like to come at it from the other direction. There we go. And it's 27,000. Now, if we ever go into the red, we have some leeway. It's 50,000. You can be 50,000 in the red. Well, less than 50,000 in the red before the game says, you know what, game over, you lost. So I could be like negative 45,000 in the red, and the game still wouldn't be over. But once you reach that 50,000 mark, that max overdraft amount, then that's it. So you just want to be careful about what you're doing. But we created that quick express line, and now we're going to buy a locomotive. We now have the John Bull. It costs 26,000 though. Let's just fast forward time, let money roll in for a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and purchase that. I don't like to be in the negative because there are maintenance costs associated with different things, so we should see some money coming in fairly soon. Nice. Okay, that's 10 grand in the positive now. All right, let's go ahead and buy our John Bull. Yeah, don't warn anymore. And we're going to go ahead and pick up the textiles from here. Nice, I can hold 4 of them, and we're going to unload it over here. Into the clothes factory. Now, it looks like it also needs leather. I do believe we're producing leather at a different location, though. Let's go ahead and instruct this train to maintenance at Knoxville. There we go, and apply. Alright, so off it goes, T6. And leather. Let's figure out where we're getting leather from. Okay, so it looks like we are delivering grain to this farm. There's a... Oops, express line. That's fine. Yeah, there's a wheat field here. We're delivering grain from here to here, and that is turning into meat and leather. So all we have to do now is get a route going from Chattanooga to Harrington's. We've already got something going here, but we don't want to interfere with the existing train. So, 50 tourists transported to Nashville. Okay. So that's another quest I guess we have to do. Well, if we can figure out... Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, let's edit this existing line to load people from Knoxville and drop them off, or load them up at Knoxville, drop them off at Nashville. There we go. Problem solved. Same train. So textiles in one direction, passengers in the other direction. And hopefully we'll see that. Looks like that's a timed quest, though, but I don't believe it's like actually important that we complete it on time. But it does give us 200 experience points, though, and again, you can spend those experience points in between missions to, make yourself better, your profile better, so to speak. In the meantime, let's go ahead and focus on... are we gonna have... I wonder if we should, there's people here, too. Is there a train going from Chattanooga to Nashville? Let's go ahead and slow down time. Let's open our train list. T3. Alright, so meat is being delivered here. You know what? I'm tempted to adjust that and make it passengers. We're making a lot of money from the meat, though. I'd hate to not do that. But to try and complete the scenario, let's go ahead and edit this. I'm gonna close that out. We want to keep this unloaded. We're gonna load passengers. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Actually, we already have it set up. Oh, it's backward. All right. We want to load up passengers at Chattanooga instead of that. And then we're going to unload passengers here. There we go. Apply. So basically, we're going to also deliver passengers from Chattanooga to here. Is there anything else we can do? There's no passengers here. There's no passengers here. There's no passengers here, so we're not going to be able to bring in passengers from anywhere else. We could create an express line from Cookeville to Nashville and deliver more passengers that way. We could do that. Is it going to cost us an arm and a leg to do it, though? That's the question. And can we set this up in a way it's not going to complain about it? It'll let me. Okay. Sure. Confirm. We'll go ahead and get a train. We'll buy the John Bull. Well, yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and buy the best friend so it's not to break the bank. And we're going to load up on passengers here. And unload passengers there. And then load passengers up there. And unload them here. So just passengers back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Service at Nashville. Apply. Okay. And just want to make sure that each of our lines has a maintenance thing on it. We do. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm hoping that we'll complete that side quest within the time allotted here. We'll see. Okay, so that is the general gist of it. I could go on for a while, but I'm trying to keep this video at a respective length. Overall, I mean, at first I gave this game a lot of guff because, again, it felt more like a time management game than a railroad sim / tycoon game. And ever since they got rid of the timers, that option to at least disable them, and the free play mode, I think the game has a lot more staying power now, and I would play this on a regular basis. But I do want to warn you, though, this game is not as advanced / complicated as, say, Railway Empire, or even Sid Meier's Railroads has a little bit more content than this one does. So if you're thinking of buying this game for a deep, immersive simulator, you're not going to find that here. This is more of a casual, okay, this city supplies this, this demands this, let's connect them, let's make some money, let's research. You know, you're doing some things, but it's not like you need to worry about multiple parallel lines and you know, ways for the trains to go around each other. This is a much more casual train company management experience. So if you're fine with that, then you may want to take a look at this game now that you know, the whole timers have been removed, because it did make sense. I mean, this is a casual train game, but it demanded you to complete objectives within a certain time limit. So like casual, then a hardcore time limit system, just it didn't jive with me. But now that there's a casual objective, no timer kind of thing, and a casual gameplay, that meshes together for me. And I could now recommend the game based on that. It's $30 should you wish to pick it up for yourself. But like I said, if you're not into casual train games and you want something more hardcore, this may not do it for you. So I guess with that being said, if you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.